Welcome back to Character Conversions, where I try to bring fictional characters to life in D&D. Today's request from Archdemon Demiurge. We'll be building the Master of the Jagan Eye, Hiei. For stats, we'll be using the standard array of the player's handbook, divided up as you see here. Dexterity is obviously important, even Yusuke admits he's the fastest of the group. Our secondary stat will be Charisma, which we will be using for our magic. For race, we'll be going with Tiefling, specifically the Dispater bloodline. This gives us +2 Charisma and a +1 to Dexterity, raising them both to 16. We gain Dark Vision up to 60 feet, Hellish Resistance gives us resistance to fire damage, Legacy of Dis grants us the Thaumaturgy cantrip, and finally we speak Common and Infernal. For background, Hiei was a criminal in the demon world, making the perfect background for him, Criminal. This gives us proficiency with Deception and Stealth, one gaming set of our choice, and Thieves' Tools. Our background feature is Criminal Contact, giving us a liaison to the network of other criminals. For class, we'll be going with Warlock. After getting the Jagan Eye, we had to rely more on our sword than before, so this will be representing that. This gives us a D8 hit die, proficiency with light armor, as well as simple weapons, proficiency with wisdom and charisma saves, and for skills we will pick up intimidation and investigation. At first level, we need to choose our patron. To focus on our sword, we'll be going with Hexblade. This gives us Hexblade's Curse, allowing us to curse someone within 30 feet as a bonus action. We gain a bonus to damage equal to our proficiency bonus, and also crit on a 19 to 20. If the cursed target dies, we regain hit points equal to our Warlock level plus our Charisma modifier. Next, we gain Hex Warrior. This gives us proficiency with medium armor, shields, and martial weapons. After finishing a long rest, we can select a weapon we are proficient with that lacks the two-handed property, and we are now able to use our Charisma modifier in place of Strength or Dexterity. Our Pact Magic grants us 2 cantrips and 2 first level spells this level. For cantrips, we will grab Green Flame Blade and Message. For first level spells, we'll grab Expeditious Retreat to represent our greater speed, and Hex to boost our offense. As a second level Warlock, we gain Eldritch Invocations and another first level spell. For Eldritch Invocations, grab Armor of Shadows, allowing us to cast Mage Armor at will. The second will be Eldritch Mind, giving us advantage on concentration checks to maintain our spells. We want to make sure we can keep Hex up when we're using it. For a spell this level, grab Shield, to improve our defense alongside Armor of Shadows. As a third level Warlock, we choose our Pact boon. We will take Pact of the Blade. Now as a bonus action, we can create a melee weapon or transform a magic weapon into our Pact weapon with a 1-hour ritual. Finally, we will gain our first second level spell, which we will pick up Mirror Image to represent how fast we can move in melee combat, to better avoid our enemy strikes. Our fourth level in Warlock means we gain our first ability score improvement. We will trade this for the racial feat, Infernal Constitution. This will increase our Constitution by +1 to 14, giving us resistance to cold and poison damage, and advantage on saving throws against being poisoned. With resistance to both cold and fire, we now represent the heritage we gained from both our parents. Next, we gain an additional cantrip and a second level spell. For our cantrip, let's grab Create Bonfire, and our second level spell will be Misty Step, to represent our speed even more. At 5th level, we gain an additional Eldritch Invocation, and our first third level spell. We want to grab Thirsting Blade. This is the Warlock equivalent of extra attack, allowing us to make 2 attacks instead of 1 when we take the attack action. And for our third level spell, we will grab Elemental Weapon, to represent our ability to coat our weapons in flame. At 6th level, now that we have our sword skills, we want to develop our fire demon abilities. Sorcerer will give us a d6 hit die, and the Shadow Magic Bloodline grants us Eyes of the Dark, Strength of the Grave, 4 cantrips, and 2 first level spells. Eyes of the Dark gives us Dark Vision out to 120 feet. Strength of the Grave, now once per long rest, if we would be reduced to 0 hit points, we can make a Charisma saving throw with a DC equal to 5 plus the damage taken, and on a success, instead drop to 1 hit point. But we can't use this if we're reduced to 0 hit points by radiant damage or a critical hit. For cantrips, we'll grab Booming Blade, Control Flames, Sword Burst, and True Strike. We get to build on our sword abilities with Booming Blade and Sword Burst, and powers of the Jagan Eye with Control Flames and True Strike. For first level spells, we'll grab Featherfall and Jump, the typical anime character spells. Our second level of Sorcerer grants us Font of Magic and an additional first level spell. Font of Magic grants us sorcery points equal to our level. These can be spent as a bonus action to create spell slots, or in reverse, turning spell slots into sorcery points. For our spell this level, we will grab Absorb Elements. As a third level Sorcerer, we get to choose 2 metamagic options and a second level spell. For metamagic, we will pick up Quicken Spell, one of the best metamagic options, and Transmuted Spell. This will be used to turn fire spells into force damage. The reason for this is because the Disintegrate spell deals force damage and leaves you as a pile of dust, which is essentially what the Darkness Flame does. So by transmuting fire spells into force, it represents the spell being conjured with the Black Flame rather than the Mortal Flame. For our second level spell, we will pick up Flame Blade. And then finally, this level our Eyes of Dark improves, granting us the Darkness spell and the ability to cast it by spending 2 sorcery points, instead of expending a spell slot. When cast with sorcery points, we can see through the darkness we create. At 9th level, we gain our next ability score improvement. We'll drop this into our Charisma, raising it to an 18. Next, we gain 1 cantrip and 1 second level spell. For a cantrip, we'll grab Firebolt for a little bit of range combat, and our second level spell will pick up Blur to better represent our speed in combat. 10th level and our 5th level in Sorcerer means we gain a 3rd level spell. We will pick up Haste for similar reasons as Blur and Mirror Image. 6th level Shadow Magic Sorcerers gain Hound of Ill Omen and a 3rd level spell. Hound of Ill Omen I don't think actually fits Hiei that well, so I'll just be brushing it over. Just know for 3 sorcery points you can summon a Direwolf. Our 3rd level spell for this level is going to be Fireball, for more Fire Demon goodness. 12th level and our 7th level in Sorcerer means we gain our first 4th level spell. We'll grab Fire Shield. I don't recall Hiei ever coating himself in fire for defense like this, but I don't think it's too much of a stretch. As an 8th level Sorcerer, we gain another ability score improvement. We'll drop this into our Charisma again, capping it off at 20. For a spell this level, we will drop back down to 2nd level and grab Hold Person to represent Hiei's Jagan Binding Curse. 14th level and 9th level in Sorcerer means 5th level spells. Keeping up on our theme of speed and fire, we'll be going with Far Step. At 15th level, we gain an additional cantrip, a metamagic option, and another 5th level spell. For a cantrip, we will grab Blade Ward for added defense, Heightened Spell to make sure our clutch spells are successful, and for our 5th level spell, Dominate Person. 16th level is most important. We gain our first 6th level spell, which we'll be choosing Disintegrate, or as we will call it, the Dragon of the Darkness Flame. 17th level and our 12th level in Sorcerer will be our final ability score improvement. We'll drop this into our Dexterity, raising it to an 18. As a 13th level Sorcerer, we gain access to 7th level spells. For this, we'll grab Draconic Transformation to represent Hiei when he absorbs the Dragon of the Darkness Flame. As a 14th level Shadow Magic Sorcerer, we gain Shadow Walk. This allows us to, as a bonus action, teleport up to 120 feet from one area in dim light or darkness to another. The final step in representing Hiei's great speed, and this doesn't require spell slots. 20th level and the capstone of our build is an 8th level spell. For this, it's a toss-up between Incendiary Cloud and Dominate Monster. For my build, I'll go with Incendiary Cloud. End result sees us with an average of 118 hit points. Not a lot, but we are a small man after all. We'll have an AC of 17 with Mage Armor, 22 if we cast Shield. Our defense is further augmented with the use of Blur, Mirror Image, and even Haste. We might have a lower pool of hit points, but that doesn't mean you should be afraid to get up in melee with bigger foes. With our longsword, we'll average 10 damage on a hit, 21 damage a round. If we're using our Hexblade's Curse, we can bump this up to 16 and 33. Our sword skills are solid. Pair this with our spells for decent burst damage, swapping between the Mortal and Darkness Flames to make sure we get around any pesky resistances our foes might have. Upcasting our Darkness Dragon as an 8th level spell by itself will average 96 damage. And if you want, you could quicken it, and then hit your foe with your sword for a total of 129. I don't know about you, but Hiei is not someone I want going Nova on me. Thank you for watching. Please like, share, comment your opinion or suggestions for new builds. I hope all your 20s are natural, and I'll see you next time.